Because I need to know.
Well, also, I would like to have my...
We don't have stuff done.
I would like to have my show notes of it. I got this. I just wanted to have my show notes. Let's jump in the first place team in the East, which would be the Eagles. So I'm assuming you have their free agents done. So who are the notable free agents for them right now?
So right now, right, their cap. Okay, let's start there, right? Because I know people say it's a myth. It is, but you still need to make that money work somehow. Right now they're at negative 9.6. If they restructure Lane Johnson, that still puts them at negative 962, 840. Right, so that's still a whole bunch. They gotta make one more move here, one more move there, but it is what it is. They'll figure that out. I mean, but coming down to like key free agents, right? You don't know if Jason Kelce's coming back.
Yeah, but he said he would retire if they won. So
which makes sense, right? But he's played at a high level his entire career.
He's 35. I think he's got 3 more years in him. I think he's got 3 more years.
I don't know.
It depends on what he wants, but I think he's got 3 more years. I don't think he had injury this year, and he's playing with a good offensive line around him.
Well, sure. But I mean, so he's a free agent. Their guard, Isaac Sumalo, who's 29. Is it Sumalo?
Sumalo.
I don't know. I got to take a class or something.
It's fine.
Oh, my God. He's 29, but he's worth too much, and he's inconsistent year over year. So they might bring him back as a piece, but I'm not sure of that.
You can do something there, too.
I mean, for O-line, sure.
Well, technically 31. I'm sorry. You got to pick at 31.
Because I don't think you can re-sign Bradbury, but we're going to talk about that here in a minute.
Sorry, you have a pick at 30. 30. That 32 is wrong. I haven't updated it.
Gotcha.
That's a pick at 30.
Oh, I didn't even have him. Anyway, and then you got Miles Sanders coming up. So, like, Miles Sanders, losing that, you can say whatever you want to say about him. That's still a big loss for that offense.
Actually, Johnny, that entire graphic is wrong outside of 10. Just because what happens is
with that,
everything moves up 1.
Yeah, because they had them winning the Super Bowl. So with that loss, everything moves up 1/2 because there's no pick in the first round.
Gotcha.
So technically they have the 30th overall pick. So they have the 62nd, the 95th, or the 94th, 220th, and 250th.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, sorry about that.
Oh, no, by all means. I get to read chat for a second, and it's just really funny. And I'm blessed. I'm blessed being able to have that opportunity.
That's fine. So team needs here, right?
I mean,
so Edge.
Do you think losing Miles Sanders is big? Or do you think that they can still do it with Gainwell and
I think Miles Sanders being 25.
Scott. Yeah, he's young.
I don't think I think you need to re-sign Miles Sanders over Scott or Gainwell.
He will be 26 before the season starts.
Right. But I think you need to sign Miles Sanders over Scott or Gainwell, or let Miles walk and go draft.
I mean, which they might do, right? Or they can find a guy. They can find a guy in free agency. Who is it?
Bijan.
You're gonna draft Bijan?
If Bijan drops the 30th, I would draft Bijan. But I don't know if Bijan's going to drop the 30th. So, but I think at 10th, I think if you're drafting at 10 and let's say Kelsey's there, right? Let's say Kelsey's there.
Say he comes back.
And I think they don't pick at 10. I think they trade out.
Yeah, I think so.
But if Kels is not there,
you're going to go Kels or Kelsey?
I'm going to go Kels.
Okay.
And you know what? They're requesting it be said Kels. I'm just going to say Kels.
So they're requesting that again?
Yeah, I think I heard it during the Super Bowl, actually.
I thought I heard that as well. One of the guys ran by Travis.
Yeah.
Good job, Kels, or something.
Yep. So at 10, right? I think you can get the best center, but I think that's still high for a center in this draft.
It is. It's actually very high. I would not do that.
So I would almost trade out at 10, and if you're going to trade out, like let a team like Washington or I don't know, maybe the Steelers, because they're looking to trade up too.
Yeah, I mean, right, and they love trading up the 10 spot.
They do, and this is one of those years. I think Ryan brought it up. Like every other year, they trade up.
Yeah.
So in the last 20 years, I think he said they traded up 10 times. Like that's pretty intense.
That is intense.
So
that's a lot.
A few, like the last few, they've traded up to the 10 spot, which I think that's just irony. But
I mean, whoever wants to move has got to move. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get it. And I think the 10 spot would be a perfect place for like Detroit to move up, or You know,
to
'cause
move up
Detroit,
again? I mean, they're already
no, they
picking
can
at
move
6.
back and then move back up. You know what I mean? So I think Detroit's going to pick at 6, but I think that 18 spot they might not even want. So they either move up or move back.
I'm trying to see who else has 2 picks in the first. I know
Seattle.
Detroit, Houston, Seattle's got 2 picks.
Yeah, 20th and the 5th.
Okay, I mean, so like you got a couple teams that may do stuff.
John, can you edit that graphic while or are you still in chat?
He's messing around in chat.
Sorry, I just know that Kansas City's 31 and Philly's 30th. So
did he say he would take? He would take.
I'm not going to continue.
Jared Cook over every tight end playing right now.
Yes.
Aside from Kelsey.
What about Kittle?
Right.
Oh wow.
Come on, man.
Come on.
And Ertz is higher than him currently in all-time stats.
Ah.
Right, yeah, Dalton's
Like, what are you talking about?
Oof.
And Goddard's only 27, 28?
Right.
At least Ertz has proven to be a game
Mark
changer.
Andrews is 28, 29?
Waller is a bum. If we're gonna
Come
be honest.
on. Darren Waller is a bum. I don't disagree.
Roof.
Right.
Roof.
So.
Anyway, back to the Eagles.
First off, I didn't say that. Johnny said that.
So who said
you
what?
would take you would take Jared Cook over anybody currently in the
I mean,
NFL.
that's what his words said.
No, anyone playing right now aside from Kels, off the top of my head, Waller can't stay healthy.
Well, why is Waller even in that conversation? There's 10 other guys better than Waller.
I mean, Waller's athleticism is great. He really is. However, he's just.
Hawkinson's had better years than Waller.
I do.
And
like
I'm not but I'm not Hawkinson over like what Waller's ceiling could be.
That's true. I don't know. After that playoff game, he really loved Hawk. So as long as Kirk's there with Hawk, we're gonna be okay. No, I think so. Like coming to the defensive side for the Eagles, right? Fletcher Cox, old, looks like an affluent ant, dresses like a woman.
You keep bringing that up.
Robert Quinn, they traded for him from the Bears. He's also old. Brandon Graham, old. Brandon Graham produced unlimited snaps though. So if we're being honest, he produced a lot better than people would give him credit for. Unlimited snaps.
And Sue's not coming back next year, I don't think.
No, I don't think so.
I think he was only there for the ring this year. Jordan Davis is going to take a huge
Cook
step
over
up.
Goddard and Schultz.
Stop it.
Sorry,
Stop it.
my God, you're just playing.
Well, I
now.
would take Cook over Schultz.
I wouldn't.
Schultz has only had one good year, but I'd take Gesicki over Cook. I just think he hasn't been utilized. So but the thing is, we're talking career stats over guys that have already produced.
Yeah.
So
that's not.
You're talking guys that are at the beginning of their career. Schultz has been there for 5 years, so he's still got the rest of his career to play. Cook played for 14 years, so why don't we see where Cook lands at the end of this tight end era?
All right, that's fair. Yeah, I mean they have a lot of talent on the D line, except that talent is all ancient. They're all past prime. They're all old. If you're gonna bring one back, you can bring Brandon Graham back for cheaper. According to Spotrac, his current market value is 5.7. I mean, you might be able to get a team friendly, but I mean, you still got to make a lot of money moves. You still got almost $1 million under in cap after a restructure with Lane. And then, in my opinion, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson at safety, you got to bring him back. You have to bring him back.
So, what do you see them doing at 10 then?
First they got to figure that cap out. They got to figure their cap out.
Well, yeah, but I mean, do you think the 10 pick is worth $4 or $5 million for the year?
Yeah.
So do you see them trading out of the 10 pick?
I think that because they're losing,
and this is still early, I get it.
But they're losing defensive starters. They're losing a lot of talent on their D-line.
And they have really old corners, too.
I mean, Robert Quinn, they might re-sign Robert Quinn. They might try and do that. Their corners...
31 years old.
Slay's old. Slay's older than people think.
Mm-hmm. No, he's older than you think.
What do you mean by people? I mean, I'm not talking about you and I. I'm talking about... I didn't realize how old he was.
You were the one that didn't realize
I didn't think how old he was. I think they're going to try... They're going to go defensive line there. I don't know if they can re-sign Bradbury. I don't think they have the money.
I mean, definitely a lot of restructuring because you have to figure out what's going on with Jameis Winston. Jameis Winston was just in my head for some reason.
Talking about Hurts?
We were talking about the Saints earlier.
Yeah,
you have to re-sign Jalen Hurts.
You don't have to do that this year, though.
No, but you have to think about that when you're signing these guys.
Oh, I agree.
When you're doing restructures and stuff like that, you have to think about that because next year is this year his 5th year? Yes. So this year by May 7th, they have to figure out whether or not they're keeping his 5th year option. Right?
Who?
Hurts.
Hurts wasn't a first-round quarterback.
Oh, then this is his year then.
Oh, so no, this is his last
year coming up.
Oh,
So you have to either figure out a deal or he's a franchise tag. And you know what? I'm going to be honest. I might tag him next year.
I'd probably tag him.
Because I think this...
Because you still have a window. Your window is still open.
It's still open. I'm not going to say this is a fluke season.
Yes, this is last year. This is in 2023.
So
yeah, he'll be a free agent.
Do you think this is a fluke season for Hurts?
No, I don't think so.
Or do you think this is Hurts' potential? Or do you think there's more? Do you think he's reached his ceiling? Like, is this the best Hurts we'll ever see?
He's
Probably.
Can I get chat back on that?
He's a poor man's Josh Allen. That's what I would call Hurts. He has the same, almost the exact same rushing capability.
Also.
So
that's what Brandon's saying. He's at his ceiling. I mean, literally, he's had the best receivers he could ever have. He had one of the best tight ends he ever had. I mean, he had Ertz for a year, but like Goddard puts up very good numbers.
Goddard put up good numbers. If you take
best O-line he's ever had.
If you take out Miles Sanders and the actual rushing attack, because they ran the ball a bunch,
right?
They ran the ball a bunch.
I don't disagree.
And you force him to throw it more, I still think he's going to do just fine. He's still going to have 500 to 600 rushing yards. He had 700 this year. He had I think it was 11 rushing touchdowns, something like that. He led the quarterbacks in rushing for touchdowns. I think Hurts puts up similar numbers next year. I think he has to, right? Because if not, then they're looking at they're looking at a lot from his rookie year.
So the things things that I care about, because quarterback, right?
Yeah.
So 3,700 yards.
Yeah.
That's franchise average.
But they ran the ball.
When I say franchise average, I mean that's a franchise quarterback, and that's the average of a franchise quarterback. They stay around 3,500 yards for
really?
Like some of your like your franchise guys. When they struggle to keep guys, they're around 28 to 32, 33. Okay, so 3,700 is what he had. 22 for 6. I think that's a very good ratio, especially when that's not including rushing. That's just passing. 22 passing touchdowns to 6 interceptions.
That's good.
And a 66 completion percentage, which was better than Mahomes this year, I'm pretty sure. 66.4. I think Mahomes was 66.3.
I do not know, but that is very good.
So
it was better than Josh Allen.
Is this? I don't compare him to Josh Allen.
I mean, the same rushing ability. It's very similar.
But I will say, like, is this?
Josh Allen just throws them more. Their offense is pass first.
Yeah,
this is not. This is not a pass first offense.
Agree. So I think this is the best Jalen Hurts could ever be. This to me is Jalen Hurts' MVP season.
Really?
I think so. I think because AJ Brown's only going to get older. I'm not saying he's going to get worse. Devontae Smith's going to get better, but I just don't know if there's enough opportunity downfield, right?
I don't know if we can say that.
No, because they're running the ball. So this is the amount of opportunity.
They limit themselves, sure, but now they're coming into it. They have a new offensive coordinator.
But based on what I saw since the postseason, right, when he got hurt, since post injury,
yeah,
he struggled with accuracy. Even though apparently his accuracy in the postseason was 66.7,
which I mean,
that's pretty good.
You can't. I mean,
but
yeah,
if you
right,
look at downfield accuracy, that's where I see the issue.
The last play of the Super Bowl was a fluke. He threw very well that game.
I'm looking at the NFC title game. He did not throw well.
With the injuries, sure, right? I mean, but you look at injuries, especially to throwing arm, it's gonna affect. If you threw a total 66% completion percentage in the playoffs as a whole with that injury, that's impressive.
Yeah, I think efficiency is. I agree, Brandon. I think this is a bit efficiency right here. I think with the efficiency of Hurts this year, this is his cap. Personally, I mean, if you had to give him stats next year, would you say he'd be around here? Do you say like Brandon's saying he dips? I
think. I mean, right. I mean, obviously you're gonna expect a dip. Realistically, if they have to throw the ball more, his rushing yards might come down, and his running. I mean, if Sanders isn't there and they end up not liking the guys that they got back there, and then making a move somewhere else, they have to run the ball a lot. I mean, similar for him to be here. I would say if he has to throw it more, he's gonna be closer to 4,000 yards.
So
he's gonna have it'll be closer to 30 touchdowns, probably 10 picks.
He rushed more last year.
He had more yards last year.
More attempts this year,
okay,
but more rushing yards last year. He averaged 5.6 yards last year and 4.6 this year. So I think it was a well-balanced offense, and I think a lot of his rushing attempts came on scrambles.
Well, sure. Yeah,
which is a problem when you have Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown. You can't get them open, in my mind.
So
But you also had
is
no
that a play calling or is that route running? Because both of those guys are pretty good route running.
That'll be something fun to look at and a little more in the offseason because Steichen just became the Colts head coach.
Yeah.
So if that means it was because of the offense,
man.
that means the Colts are in for a rude awakening again.
Yeah, that's gonna be goofy. That's gonna be a bad one.
I'm gonna have to look at that one. So, well, we'll move on from Philly on this one because I agree with you. They got to figure out cap first. I think that's first. Obviously, that's every team's first need is to figure out their cap situation. Then I think they have to figure out Jalen Hurts. Got to make Jalen happy, whether it's keeping him or giving him some type of verbal guarantees.
Well, with that injury he took this year, because he took it after when he was getting tackled.
He came back and played well still.
He did. But what realistically, a rushing quarterback, a quarterback that does scramble.
I think if you sign him now, early, for a 3 or 4 year deal.
Before he's worth more.
Before he gets
if
better.
he has another good year.
Before he gets
That's
better.
fair. I like that.
I think you lock him. Now, I will say this is the Browns mentality when what they did with Deshaun Watson is they said, shut up, give him the money, lock him down before everybody's contracts go up.
Yeah,
now,
that's fair.
Now Deshaun Watson's only like the 5th or 6th highest paid.
Right, because all these contracts, all these other guys get paid.
Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers.
And the Browns, they set a tone, and now the teams are having to pay these guys.
Yep. And they're going to say, well, you never get your full contract guaranteed, but when you guys got guys getting guaranteed like $205 million for a $300 million contract, like he's still making less money. So Russell Wilson's the highest paid quarterback in the NFL, and God knows he was the best quarterback last year.
So good, dude. Pay Lamar his money. Okay.
So let's move on to the next team in that division, which this is going to be another talking point just because how about them Cowboys?
How about them
And them Cowboys.
Dak is done? Okay, that's...
Oh, I put that in my graphic?
Oh, my Lord.
Sorry, guys. I did not. I forgot I put that in my graphic 4 weeks ago.
A month ago, this guy. All right. I mean... The Cowboys for the cap, right? They're starting negative. They're starting pretty negative. Negative 10.6. If they want to go positive, all right, I was able to do some numbers on Spotrac anyway. They have to restructure Dak, Zach Martin, DeMarcus Lawrence, Zeke, and Gallup.
So on the positive note, right?
That moves them to 32.1
They
positive.
lose Noah Brown.
Yeah.
They lose Cooper Rush, which that could be a dangerous one for them if people are looking to try with that guy. He had a good game. He had good stretch? It was like 3-0 or 4-0.
Yeah, I mean, I was 3-1 or so. I think he actually lost this
year. They were mediocre stats, but a very good game manager.
Yeah.
And they lose Brett Maher, which we can all talk about Brett Maher because that's hilarious that he's gone.
It is funny.
Jerry Jones gets lucky on that one. He doesn't have to worry about re-signing a guy who pretty much lost him the entire thing.
Oh, man. Yeah, he did.
That's almost worse than the double doink.
That is almost worse.
But now let's talk about their free agent in Van Der Esch and Dante Fowler and Anthony Barr. Like these three guys on their defense, what does that do to their defense if they don't re-sign them?
So, I mean, I looked at those guys, and I mean, outside of Van Der Esch, right? But, I mean, it depends on how you view linebackers. How do you view linebackers is completely different from how a GM will view a linebacker. And that's why typically they don't go first round. They don't go high first round typically, unless they're just studs. But like you look at the Steelers, they took Bush at 10, and they're regretting that because he's not that dude.
Yeah, dude,
he's an underseasoned.
Just looking at that draft, it's pretty rough.
But like Van Der Esch is massive. He had a great rookie year. Called him the Wolf Hunter, for God's sakes.
I'm sorry, this is so off topic. Did you know we could have had Tristan Wirfs over Jedrick Wills?
No, stop. We're not making this a Brown show.
I'm sorry. You brought draft.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
Sorry. Go ahead. Continue. I apologize. Dallas Cowboys.
We can have Tristan Wirfs. Damn it, dude. The only guy I have them actually
stuck in your head.
because it depends on how Jerry views Van Der Esch, right? If he wants him back, he'll make it happen. If he doesn't, he should probably look to a secondary because the secondary was assholes. and they got burned all the time. Granted, it was high risk, high reward. Willis is solid, as in like Jedrick Wills. Is that what you're saying?
Jedrick is bad.
Oh my God!
Go look at his tape.
All right,
He doesn't continue plays.
Jesus Christ!
That's being in the league this long. You have to continue.
Oh man, the dude I have them targeting or should be targeting to come back is Anthony Brown's their corner. You talked about Anthony Barr. He's old. He didn't produce too much. You talked about.
So you think Barr's just let him go?
I think he's gonna be gone.
Okay.
Because you have to pay him to keep him. Who's the other guy you mentioned? Because I know I looked at him. I just Dante Fowler. He's a maybe. But if I remember right, his age is he's older.
I think you have to get Dante Fowler and Van Der Esch back if you want another chance at this defense.
The defense was good. The secondary was not.
I think you need to look at a safety in the draft, but I think you need to find a way to keep this defense intact. It's been 2 years in a row that this defense has been a top 10 defense. And I think
were they top 10 last year?
Yeah. They were outstanding last year too.
Okay. I know Micah has changed this defense a bunch.
Well, getting to the passer helps.
Yes. And
he gets
it. Even hurt, he gets there.
Yeah.
So he just
I didn't want to say top 5 just because if I say top 5 and they're on the fringe at like 6, it always screws up everything.
For the Cowboys?
Yeah. Because I'm pretty sure they were around top 5 the last 2 years. So top 10 is actually an understatement.
Yeah.
But they've been a outstanding defense the last 2 years. And like Brandon said, they were number 1 in takeaways last year.
I mean, okay, so yeah, Van Der Esch is definitely
Diggs
key.
Standalone.
Well, Diggs gets beat, right? But Diggs gets beat when he jumps and on a second move.
Right. That's his type of play
But he also
style.
gets a bunch of takeaways, which is what Brandon's referring to.
That's his
He
play
does
style.
get, and he does. And if he gets safety help, he's okay. And if not,
he even intercepted to Stephon Diggs in the Pro Bowl.
Yeah,
oh, did he?
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That's funny. Don't throw at Diggs. I mean, no. On a double move, he gets beat every time.
You do throw at Diggs on a double move because then you're going all the way. You're going to the house. And that's
Sauce.
that's been his issue.
Okay, he doesn't watch the show.
Well, I don't think he saw any of our Sauce Gardner takes.
No. Anyway,
because none of us were a fan of Sauce
Dak.
being number 1.
So you have the team needs you have QB all the way down there. So you say Dak is done, but he's all the way down there. So you think that they're
I think you have
content
to
with
it's
with
not
Dak.
a being content. I think he's still signed for the next 2 years. So I think you got to deal with it whether you like it or not.
Yeah, I mean they got to restructure him though.
I think it's a situation to where either Dak needs to get better in clutch situations.
Hey, Sauce is the best corner right now. That's funny.
Who said that?
The guy who thinks he knows football.
Oh, well, if you look at Sauce compared to other rookies that came in the league.
Oh, he said best corner.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If you look at the Texans' corners,
They're comparable.
they just got hurt.
They're very good.
Just got hurt.
They're very good. Yeah, they're hurt, and they still have.
But
those
I will say, I brought this up the other day. Sauce. The thing with Sauce is that he
defended.
He was great production on a team that already had a good defense.
I agree.
So I think that's what made him a standout compared to everybody's that he still produced on that defense. So
Well, sure.
we don't disagree with the Sauce statement. I mean, I think there's other corners out there that are comparable, but Sauce at his age, he's only going to get better.
I agree. Well, I mean, that's the expectation.
Yeah.
He did have a fantastic year. He absolutely played very, very well.
Brandon doesn't look at Emerson. Go look at his stats, Brandon, before you say not comparable.
Anyway.
The stats guy over here.
Is he a stats guy? Anyway, the thing you could do is you could look at snaps played, and even then, it's still impressive because it's about what you do, what you produce, what you do on the field.
Yeah, Sauce had a great year.
My thing with Sauce is the 20 passes defended is gross. That's good. That's very good. That is his job.
So what do you see? What do you see the Cowboys doing in their draft pick? Can you bring up that?
One more time, John. Sorry.
I think they were 27th.
Their first pick is 27.
I'm still trying to adjust.
Yeah.
All right.
Their first pick's still 27th. It doesn't matter.
Outside
Outside of you could take the Miami one out.
At 27, I mean, so like offensive free agents like Dalton Schultz, are they going to tag him again? Probably.
I think is that a spot where you go tight end?
You could go tight end. I think
You can get your boy out of
I like Dalton Kincaid a lot.
I
like the kid out of Utah
in the second round.
You probably could, but it depends on what you want to do. Is he athletic enough? Can he do it? I mean, you got Tony Pollard. Are you gonna? He already said he's gonna tag Pollard.
I do.
I think that's stupid.
I think whatchamacallit going here is perfect.
Who are you talking about?
Bijan.
Oh,
I think Bijan
man.
going here.
You know how many times I've seen that mocked? I mean, even in the computer
Because
mocks,
it
dude,
fits
they
so
all
well.
go. It does.
It fits so well.
And honestly, with Zeke getting older,
it's not about Zeke. It's about you lost Pollard. And
but he said he's gonna tag him. Why would you tag
I
Pollard?
think he's saying he's going to tag Pollard. Well, we'll find out.
So
We'll find
it's
out March 7th.
Smoke and mirrors.
We'll find out March 7th.
Yeah.
Because the franchise tags are due on March 7th. So we will find out March 7th whether or not Pollard will be tagged, and we'll know more about this 27th pick overall.
Right.
Because I think if they tag Pollard and you already have Zeke signed, there's no reason. Is this Zeke's out year? I can't remember.
I think it's.
I think it's 2024.
It's
I
next
think
year.
it's 2024.
Yeah. So I think if you tag Pollard, there's no reason they would go Bijan. Now, if Bijan's at 27,
I mean, that's hard
because
to pass
he can
up.
block and you need offensive line.
It's so hard to pass that up.
It is. Yeah, I don't know what you would do here. I think you would go O-line, or like you said, or say best safety maybe if the top safety in the draft is sitting there.
Zeke's a UFA in 2027.
Yeah,
but his opt-out year is next year.
2024. It should be.
Potential out 2023.
Oh, it is this year. It is this year.
Well, then why keep him? I mean, you could restructure him and save money, or you could just cut him.
Well, he said he would take less money to stay. He came out and said, "I will take less money. I want to retire in Dallas."
I mean, it looks like he's going to retire anyway. I mean, money talks, and if it is what it is, like he has not produced. He did not produce that well this year.
He's their sixth offensive lineman. We've talked about this.
I agree. He's because Tony Pollard cannot block.
No,
Dude gets
which is
just
another reason why you
manhandled.
don't keep Pollard if you Bijan's there. In my mind, the problem is the franchise tag is March 7th and the draft is April 27th.
That's going to be interesting. It'll
be fun.
That'll be a good
Fun to
follow-up
see.
show. That'll be
right.
nice.
So, you know what? Let's jump off this because I think to be honest, looking at this division,
Yeah.
I think it kind of stays the same way it was last year. Eagles 1, Cowboys 2, Giants 3, Commanders 4. Only reason, unless I see the Eagles taking a huge step back.
Can I tell you why that might not happen?
Because the Eagles losing all of their coaches.
Eagles losing their coaches. They're losing a lot. They're pretty much their entire defensive line is aged out or they're free agents.
Davis is back.
Well, that's one guy out of 4.
That's a one big guy.
He's good, but because he played limited this year, it sucked. I like Jordan Davis. I loved him coming
But you
out.
could build any defense around Ndamukong Suh. Jordan Davis, you can build any defense around Jordan Davis. He fills such a big hole.
I don't disagree.
I'm not saying you don't need an edge, but I'm just saying you can put interior linemen around Jordan
Eagles have
Davis.
a pick at 10, right? Is that what you're saying? Is that right?
10 and 30.
They might take. What's their cap again? They might take a D lineman. They might take an.
They could.
I think they.
Well, they'd take an edge there's an edge there.
They would take an edge. Could you imagine them with 2 stud D tackles? Oh my god! Oh, that'd be so good. Anyway, you want to go on the Giants? We'll hit the Giants real quick. I think, right, because we're gonna go in order. Because Daniel Jones, Shaquan, Shepard, Richie James, their center, John Feliciano, they're all free agents.
Right. So the first thing they have to do, screw the cap, right? This is one of the teams, screw the cap.
Do they have 41?
Right, but it's
positive.
one of the teams where screw the cap. Yep. I need to figure out Saquon, and I got to figure out Daniel Jones.
Do you re-sign your running back? I am anti second.
It's his first contract.
This be second contract.
First.
Second contract.
First.
Your rookie contract is your first. This is your second contract.
Oh, stop it. It's his first contract. I don't count rookies.
No. That's your contract. You do not pay running backs a second contract. However, I would make the argument that Shaquan.
This is just a start.
I do. I think that he
got 3 years coming up, I think.
I do too. I really think that he actually can
do
that.
What he said the other day?
What Shaquan said?
Yeah. I want to be like Adrian Peterson.
Ooh.
I want to be one of the greats of all time.
I mean, like, don't get
That-
me wrong.
now,
I think
don't-
isn't that what they all want?
I think they all want that, but I don't think they all are determined like Saquon is.
Do you
the
think- I
amount
mean,
of
words are
energy
words.
he put in? Yeah, but the amount of energy he put into coming back for 3 years.
Listen.
CMC's
I like
the same way.
Shaquan.
CMC's the same way.
I like Shaquan over CMC long term.
Ooh, I think I like
size.
Yeah, but durability, I don't know. I don't
Size.
know. You know what? That's a fun one to watch.
Water bet.
Well, CMC now that he's in San Fran, I'll take Saquon all day.
Yeah. Once you go,
And once you go to San Fran, you might as well just bury a grave.
just start digging a hole.
Injury. But yeah, you got to figure out these two guys, right?
Yeah.
Cap.
You have to. I mean, right? Sterling Shepard. He's coming off an ACL, and now he's coming off an Achilles. It's wait. Is that Patrick Peterson?
Stop.
Is he talking all time? Is he talking all time or last year?
Stop.
Is he talking last
Let him
year?
and Wheels go at it. Let him and Wheels go at it.
Jesus
So
Christ.
hold on. So Sterling Shepard, Richie James ain't coming back.
Patrick Peterson played on the worst secondary in the NFL last
Richie
year.
James ain't coming back
I don't think so.
because he's 20. He's 28.
He is old, right?
Yeah.
But he still produced. So do you sign him cheap?
No, because you got Isaiah Hodgins, who's
Still,
younger.
doesn't
who'll
matter.
put up the same amount.
I agree, but do you still need depth?
Yeah, that's why. So you sign Isaiah, right?
I mean,
You're not paying as much.
So
You're
I have
already
them
paying Galladay.
I have them restructuring Galladay, and that moves their cap from 41 to 47 for next year.
Right.
So it helps.
Daniel Jones is probably going to make $35 million this year.
Are they tagging him? I think that's the tag, and I think that's what they do.
The tag is 45. 30.
Is it really?
35 is the unrestricted free agent tag.
Okay, so yeah, then I think he. Ooh, yeah, I think
You
he's-
could tag Daniel Jones, and that's 45.
Damn, do you want to pay him 45 though?
Well, the reason why I said what I
it
said is
hurts.
if you pay him $35 million and sign him long term, 5-year deal, you can put some of that money in signing bonuses for the next
money.
Yeah, money.
Some of that money.
In signing bonuses and push that off
Some of
the
that
next
money.
couple of years. So when you are losing other key parts, and then you can balance. I just think it's hard. Saquon might be gone. And the reason why Saquon might be gone
wants
is it's
money.
very hard to sign. He doesn't want top money, he said, but he wants more than 12.
I
which
can't
is
remember the
top in my
contract.
mind.
I can't remember the contract he turned down.
He turned down $12 million a year,
Yeah, you can't,
but he said he didn't want top money.
but that
But-
makes you top.
Yeah, I agree.
You are now top.
Nick Chubb's making $12 million a year.
Yeah.
That puts you above Nick Chubb.
Are you Nick Chubb? I would
think
make.
he has higher ceiling,
I agree.
but I don't think he has
Because of the
same
pass catching.
durability. I
But
don't
that's-
think he has the same. Nick Chubb can catch. We just don't use him that way.
Stefanski. Oh my God,
But-
he's so bad.
But
He's such a bad
Here's
coach.
my argument. It's very hard to sign your running back and your quarterback in the same year. Because
Right, because then you're going to put them on a similar
Well, no,
contract
it's signing
length
bonuses.
too. Well, and bonuses.
like,
I mean, like
you
it's,
have to put a lot of upfront money.
I think a lot of upfront money for Shaquan. I think that
You might be able to push off Daniel Jones's upfront money if you give him guaranteed towards the end. But then you really put your franchise in a bad situation.
you put. Yeah, I mean, right. You're
'Cause if
banking.
Daniel Jones isn't the guy, which
Yeah.
I think he can be.
I do too.
But if Daniel Jones isn't the guy, you put your franchise in a
well,
bad
you just
situation.
look at his stats. I mean, if we remember, he plays well.
Yeah,
he
he's-
is efficient. He's not.
Give him a
he's,
non-injured receiver, and he's put in.
He's not Eli Manning, but he's definitely not. I mean, name a bad quarterback. He's not Kyler Murray's second half of the year.
I personally think he is Eli Manning. I
man.
think he's like Eli Manning reincarnated.
No.
A
You mean
little.
like my meme that I had for
this
how many
guy.
weeks ago?
I really do.
You want?
I really.
Oh
do.
no! You don't get a.
What you thirsty?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
What do you want?
I don't want beer though. I gotta go to a kid's birthday party after
What do you
this.
want?
I don't know. What do we got?
Just give him a pop.
Sprite?
Yeah. Oh, please. No. So 26 is their first pick. Do they go receiver, or do they go defense? I think they're gonna go best available. Personally.
Well, in
I
this
think
draft,
they go
the best
BPA.
available in my mind would be CB. I think you would have to go cornerback in this
Okay.
situation, just because you're going to get at.
You called Kyler Murray a legend? Am I reading that wrong?
Am I gonna have to minimize chat and we just don't?
Hold on,
respond to
what
chat?
Murray is he talking about?
I don't know. That's
not
why
Kyler.
I don't think. Well, I did say Kyler. I said seasons like. Yeah, you can't read. Okay, well then, I mean, I don't know. Maybe do better with your words.
I didn't think that was Kyler Murray.
That's why I want a clarification. I was.
They're going on a different tangent.
Oh, they're doing a whole different stuff.
Yeah, am I just not gonna have to?
No, you're fine. Let them rant. I'm enjoying.
Well,
watching
no,
in
but
the
it's
background.
distracting Steven.
I mean, hey, man. You say goofy stuff.
Yeah, cornerback here. Cornerback.
You think corner?
Or if there's if the top linebacker's on the board, I'll take top linebacker here.
Okay, who's your? Because I haven't looked at linebacker yet, so I don't even know. That's fair. I mean, we've got a whole lot of
we'll get into
tape
that
to watch
in the next couple weeks with our breakdowns. But I think this is a great situation for the Giants to solidify that defense, and then second round, because you have a late pick in the second, but then you got 90 and 101. I think you can go 2 wide receivers in this draft, or
later on. I think so,
or trade up.
Ooh,
if you need to, you have enough picks. Trade up.
Yeah, you got a bunch of picks.
Yeah, I mean, trade your 101, trade your 90, trade a 5 next year, and try to get back up into the third.
Ooh.
And get a wide receiver.
A decent wide receiver?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't hate that.
And then Wandale comes back and does what he did at the start of this year.
Oh.
Wandale's going to be great.
Jones to Eli. Murray is better than Jones. Okay.
Kyler Murray?
Yeah.
Well,
I think that one was Kyler Murray.
I don't think Kyler Murray can see over the line.
Anyway.
That's why he has to run around.
It's the same thing with Bryce Young, but okay. The exact same thing.
But we'll get to Kyler. Don't worry.
Yeah, that's right. He's coming up today.
Yeah.
No, I think you bring Daniel Jones back. You bring Saquon back about as best as you can, right? Without completely crippling your future.
Now, if you cut Golladay, I think now you save $11 million instead of $7 million. And you might have to draft a wide receiver at that spot if you cut Golladay. I don't think you cut Golladay, though. I think you're stupid.
Do you think he plays?
I think this year he has to play. I don't think you have a choice.
All right, there you go.
And if he stays off the field, you're saving money either way.
There you go.
So I think you're good. But you definitely got to figure out Saquon and Daniel Jones before
I agree.
the season starts.
So that was your offense last year.
And honestly, if Saquon's willing to play on the franchise tag him.
What is the tag for running backs? I do not know.
I think it's 14. Tag him.
Yeah, why not? I mean, that's close to what he wants. Oh, geez, that's close to what he wants anyway.
Yeah, I mean, if he'll play on the franchise tag, stay healthy for one more year,
tag him.
All
right, here you go.
And I think that's what they plan to do, or they'll tag Daniel Jones. But I just think that tag's so much higher that you shouldn't tag Daniel Jones.
Yeah, that's fair. All right, I could see that. I get with that.
So let's move on to the worst team in that division, which is the Commanders.
Which they still played well.
Played well.
Their defense was still top 10.
Better than the Bucs.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes.
This is the one year the Bucs didn't deserve it.
16th overall pick. Man. I really like that pick for them.
I don't.
Why not? That defense is good. They are very good.
So you need a quarterback.
You
right?
need a quarterback.
Or you re-signing Carson? Because they said they don't know what's going on.
Carson Wentz isn't a free agent. They talked about moving on from him. So he could come back. Is he going to stay healthy?
Oh, that is right.
Heineke's the free agent.
Heineke's the free agent.
Yeah.
I think, you know what? Personally, I think you got to give Carson one more year.
I do too.
I think you do. I think Carson went to a team whose apparently the offensive line became the worst in the NFL, which I don't know when this happened.
I don't either.
But it happened with Carson. It happened with Matt Ryan.
Yeah.
So I don't know what's going on there. And then you go and you were playing decent. Now you have to figure out how to hit Scary Terry downfield, which I think is an issue for Carson.
I think downfield that was also an issue for Heineke. The short stuff he was hitting them on. He was hyper targeting.
And we already said Sam Howell's not the guy. One game's all I needed. Game's all I needed.
Really?
Yeah.
You do not like Sam Howell?
No, it's
because he didn't play.
Baker.
Ooh.
It really
Baker's got a deep ball.
His
though.
confidence in the pocket. I actually don't think Sam Howell has Baker's arm. I think that would be the difference. Yeah.
Do you think Baker, because he's a free agent, could go?
I think Sam Howell has more touch than Baker, but that's
fair.
I just don't think.
Do you think Baker might go to the Commanders?
No.
You don't think so? They're talking about moving on from Wentz. Heineke's a free agent. Sam Howell wasn't they draft him? Was he a third-round rookie?
Let's see what happens with Bieniemy goes there, because I think Bieniemy might want to keep Wentz.
Okay. Because Wentz can move his feet. So he can. But if you look at Howell's tape, Howell can too.
I was just gonna say, which of the three are gonna be the most comparable to Mahomes? Because that's who he's gonna want. He's gonna want the mobile quarterback.
Listen,
Most
that he's
comparable?
used to.
Carson Wentz, but
I agree.
None of them are comparable.
no,
I know, but I'm just saying, whichever one is gonna be the most mobile.
And
is probably gonna be
Snyder's
the
gonna
one that he's
sell the
gonna
team.
want.
So
The only
he is
reason
he is
Snyder's-
going to sell the team.
Yeah, if the NFL makes him.
They are. I think so. You know what's funny is what everyone, not everybody. What I'm hearing a lot is Caleb Williams coming out of USC next year is Carson or is Mahomes 2.0.
Really,
But they're too good of a defense to tank
They've got to do something now.
to draft him.
They got
because Williams might be a 1. He might be like 1-1.
Yeah,
so
but what you do is if you believe this, right?
I
You
don't.
trade out of 16.
I agree.
You accrue picks for next year.
I agree.
To trade back up.
Yes.
And then you try to find the team that's going to suck.
to be the
and
worst.
you try to reach out to them for a trade and steal their first round pick.
I don't disagree. The Raiders.
Like do you? Well, there's a lot of people that say the Texans are going to be the worst team next year, which I don't think so. Unless they draft a quarterback.
Yeah. All right. I mean, that's fair.
Look at the divisions. I mean, it could be the Colts. It could be the Colts.
Oh, man, it could be. It could be. No, I mean, so
Especially if they go freaking Will Levis.
the Commanders, they have 6.9 right now. Ooh, Will Levis, Jesus. They have 6.9 in cap right now, right? If they restructure Jonathan Allen and they cut Logan Thomas and move him to 15.5, Logan Thomas has been just kind of like,
he's been good when he's on the field,
that's debatable.
I would take a tight end this year later.
but it'd be while he's on the
This
field.
is a deep tight end draft.
You could probably, you can grab a tight end.
Yeah, Logan
98.
Thomas has produced half a year, if that. So
Yeah. Losing Taylor Heineke, you can say that's big.
losing Nick Martin's big. Losing your center. But I just don't know if that team really is worried about that. They can just re-sign him. It doesn't cost much to re-sign a center. And this is also a draft where you can go get a center.
It depends on how you value him. I mean, J.C. Treader was making $8 million a year with us, and he played. But in my opinion, he played very well. I think
JC
he worked.
Treader would have made more if he wasn't the NFLPA.
We did talk about that. Yeah, we did
he
talk.
would've made
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now they're defensive free agents. Deron Payne on the D line
Cooks wants out. Oh,
of
Brandon.
Houston.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brandon Cooks.
Yeah, we know that.
Yeah.
We talked about that Wednesday.
What Cooks?
Yeah, we talked about Brandon Cooks wanting out Wednesday.
Yes. No, but the Commanders losing Deron Payne in the middle on the defensive line. That's going to be a big loss. So I could see them taking best available defensive interior guy at 16. I could see that.
All
I
right.
could see maybe an edge guy, and working with.
To be honest, as much as I
Chase
say
Young.
as much as I have quarterback high on the list, I think quarterback might move down for me. Just because I get you drafted Sam Howell, but Sam Howell was
John, bring that list up real quick.
Sam
Sorry.
Howell was, I think, the fourth or fifth round draft pick, so that's not
Was he that late? I thought
yeah,
he was a third for some reason.
He was. I think he was a fourth or fifth.
You know what the
I know he was
Commanders
a
might
fourth at
do?
least.
They might take Hooker late.
They could take Hendon Hooker in the second, third.
I know he's coming off a knee, but he is very mobile. He has a good arm.
That's possible.
He's got great deep ball accuracy. We were just talking about getting the ball to Scary Terry. I mean, you have 3 stud receivers on that team now.
If Hendon Hooker's there at 98, you take him.
Absolutely.
I just don't think he'll be there.
I don't think so either. I think if he falls that bad, it'll be because
There's something else going on.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, you don't play that
He
well
is
against those
25
teams.
though, right?
He's 25.
So he is the oldest, second oldest coming out of this draft, I think.
quarterback. Who's older?
Yeah.
Stenson. Bennett.
Stetson's like 27.
Grandpa Stetson.
He's
Is he really 27?
I think
He's been at
26 or
Georgia
27.
that long?
I think so.
No way.
Let me double check it. I'm pretty sure because me and Ryan were actually talking about this. Stetson Bennett.
He's like a JT Barrett coming out of you.
He was born in '97.
25 years old. Okay, so they're both same age.
Yeah, but I like Hooker over Bennett.
Let me check that. Make sure I'm right.
But anyway, no, I like
they're both
them.
25, so they're both old quarterbacks coming into this draft.
Do they need D-line? No. Is losing Deron Payne going to be drastic? Yes.
I think the D line's at the bottom, right?
Yeah.
So I do my best to try to organize these.
Chase. Oh, you know what? They haven't said they're going to pick up Chase Young's 5th year yet.
That's next year, though. I think.
Yeah, that next year's his 5th year. That'll be big.
Well,
Chase Young also hasn't done shit.
They have to announce that soon.
Yes.
I think 5th years have to be in. I think it's the same. Is that the same day as the franchise?
I do not know. I do not know off the top of my head.
Okay, I know you have that list.
I have it somewhere. Yeah, it's not currently in front of me.
So let's move on from here. So just quick, give me a real quick recap in your head. Where do you think these teams land?
So finishing next season, I really like the
Eagles, Cowboys, Giants, Commanders.
I think depending on what the Giants do in free agency, depending on Jones and Barkley, I would say that them and the Commanders, depending on what the Commanders do at quarterback, they might flip-flop at 3 and 4. But I do think it's going to be Eagles, Cowboys 1 and 2.
Okay, so you just don't know what's going to happen between the
Well, no, right?
I think the Giants are going to take a step forward. So if anything, I think the Cowboys would move back.
I think that maybe.
Because Dak's at the top of his career.
Dak is at his ceiling. No,
Dak's not getting better.
Right. The thing with Dak is he gets hurt every flipping year.
And do you see them getting a wide receiver?
No. What?
CD and Godwin?
No. I mean, right. When are they drafting again? What, 10? They're not drafting at 10.
Is it Godwin?
Cowboys draft at 27.
I feel stupid.
The Cowboys? No, it's not Godwin. It's CD Lamb.
No, CD and who? Who came back this year?
Gallup.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, Gallup, and he's a free agent. Or no, I'm sorry, he's not a free agent. No, I talked about restructuring him. They don't.
I said Godwin. Jesus.
Sorry, I thought you said Godwin.
No.
Did
Gallup.
you say Godwin?
I did say Godwin. I meant Gallup.
Well, I mean, you're close. It's 2 G's. Sheesh.
That's fine. I just want to know where your thoughts were.
No, I mean, at 27, the Cowboy. I mean, like, yeah, you can take a piece, but like to step up, I don't know. I don't know. I like the Commanders. I really like their defense. I've been high on their defense all year. They played really well, and you don't even hear about them. I think that they can take a step if they find an above average quarterback. Is that Wentz?
I wouldn't be shocked if the Giants win the division next year. I wouldn't be shocked.
Over the Eagles.
That's why I wouldn't be shocked. Remember, because we said new coaches, you're missing a lot of pieces on the D-line. O-line possibly too.
That's
right?
fair. I mean, with Kelsey in the middle.
I wouldn't be shocked if the Giants are the team on up and coming. If they sign Saquon and Daniel Jones again, right? The Giants are the up and coming. Washington's up and coming.
Yeah.
Dallas has been there for a while.
Dallas is going to drop off. They're all getting old.
Right.
I mean, so like in that case, do you sign Van Der Esch and keep a younger piece, or do you let him go?
I think you have to sign Van Der Esch. I think you have to.
All right.
But I'm just saying, so like I wouldn't be shocked if the Giants win that division next year. I wouldn't be shocked.
Okay.
So